Hey guys, welcome to another spicy top 10 video. My name is Paul and this is my top 10 horror games to play in 2021. I've left out some of the more mindless zombie shooters that I also enjoy and focus more on the brooding psychological side with a few indie titles thrown in for good measure. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let's do this. Vizage. This is undoubtedly one of the best horror games to come out recently. The gameplay borrows some of the finest features from the genre and applies them perfectly. The production values of the title are good enough to make you doubt that it is actually an indie title. It manages to expertly manipulate its players' emotions and tension levels on another level. If you can get over some less than stellar controls and tolerate the head-scratching puzzles, you're in for a terrifying time. If you are into psychological horror and want to fill the hole that the promised Silent Hills games left, then this is one you should definitely try. The Medium. An enjoyable, disturbing horror game that is sure to blow you away if you have the slightest interest in the visual design. Its locations will disturb and terrify you, and its dual reality system provides interesting new ways to complete objectives. It's not your usual horror game, and none of the developers' games I've played have been regular horror games. Bloober Team have created this in the style of classic horror adventure games we all loved in the past. If you have a day to spare and don't mind spending a few hours to get hooked, then I don't think you'll regret taking a Medium out for a spin. Blair Witch. A survival horror experience that will certainly delight fans of the age-old franchise. Even though it's rough around the edges at times, it stays true to what makes the lore so captivating, while taking it to new places. Certain parts of the game mechanics do feel awkward and aren't consistent, and on the console, controls felt cumbersome at times, especially when paired with unreliable performance. Nonetheless, with my dog Bullet by my side, I wasn't alone in a haunted forest, and it's an adventure I'd more than willingly take again. Little Nightmares 2. Here we have the superb sequel to an already excellent game. Although the additions to the original, such as the dual hero story and being able to fire, in my opinion, don't add much, I was still unable to put the game down all day during my playthrough due to its rewarding puzzles and haunting atmosphere. Unfortunately, there have been reports of performance problems on weaker hardware such as the Switch, so if you have the option, pick it up on a more powerful platform. If you like the original, then this is a game you definitely don't want to miss out on. Amnesia Rebirth. Next up we have the new title in the infamous Amnesia series, and one of the best horror games to come out in 2020, thanks to its gripping narrative and an unsettling atmosphere that can make playing a game almost unbearable. If a horror game manages to achieve this, it more than makes up for the problems such as mediocre AI and at times boring puzzles. Rebirth is an excellent example of how to build fear, and the weakness the player feels during a game never gets any easier. There are some great puzzles to solve and an engrossing story that keeps you playing until the end. Phasmaphobia. It's not often you find something original like Phasmaphobia. The game is as exciting as it is terrifying and offers a refreshing and creative take on the horror genre by placing you in the boots of ghost hunters. You'll have to take on all manner of supernatural creatures from banshees to demons in your quest to become the expert hunter. You can't do it alone, you'll have to count on solid cooperation with your buddies if you want to succeed. The innovative use of voice, the multitude of ghosts, and the feeling of progress make this title a great alternative to usual co-op games. With strong support from the developers, regular updates, and a wallet-friendly price make this game hard to ignore. The Evil Within 2. How about a horrifying game that will continually test you? The disturbing atmosphere adds to a sense of uncertainty, and the non-stop combat always takes more than it gives. Just when you start to get relaxed, the game takes it up a notch. Whether it's a boss encounter or the hostile environment, the game loves to keep you off balance. The Evil Within 2 comprises all the elements of classic survival horror with a modern feel. If you're up for a formidable horror game with great gameplay and visuals, maybe this one is for you. Carrion. Onto a game that turns the horror genre upside down by letting you be the monster this time, in a Metroidvania style game that is original, exciting and enjoyable to play. The arcade-like gameplay is buttery smooth, and the way you crawl around eating scientists is both funny and gratifying. While there are sections of it that I found a bit puzzling and sluggish, the basic gameplay mechanics were fun enough to the point where it didn't impact my enjoyment. Carry On has a ton of variety, and I would recommend it to anyone, especially those who've had enough of being a survivor in distress. Darkwood, a delightful survival horror game that brings us something new with its pixel art graphics, terrific sound design and spooky gameplay. It's set in a scary forest full of danger lurking behind every crook and cranny. The devs have managed to create a believable and genuinely chilling atmosphere. As everything is closely linked to the story, replayability is lacking and some of the gameplay mechanics could do with some work. Despite this, Darkwood can provide real thrills and scares for the horror fans that miss the feel of such classics such as Silent Hill 2. At the cheaper end of the scale, it is a title that I recommend picking up to horror fans. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I remember fondly staying up late with friends all night to complete the original Resident Evil 2. It was that good for the time. Now it's been remade and it manages to remain faithful to the original while also feeling new and modern. Stunning visuals bring the game back to life, highlighting a continual sense of dread. Puzzles are well balanced and following the gripping story, while uncovering its many secrets is very satisfying. New features such as the secondary weapons and movement improvements only add to the package. Whether you're new to Raccoon City or you're an old regular, you won't want to miss out on this one. So that was our list. Have you ever played any of the games listed? What game did you think deserved the mention here? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.